Live from Appalachian Bible College, the Mustang Sports Network brings you exclusive coverage of Lady Mustangs basketball. For the Lady Mustangs, it's been a season of ups and downs. This team has seen its share of adversity, and finally at season's end, they've taken the 164-mile trek down south, to the capital of West Virginia high school Christian school basketball. The Lady Mustangs, in just their third year of existence, square off against another up-and-coming WVCEA team in the Lions of Lewisburg. The Mustangs, winless against the Lions this season, look to prove the old coaching adage that it's hard to beat the same team 3 times in a single year. Megan Beckner and Kara Wolf come into this tournament poised to collect the first tournament win since their program's inception. But the Comer sisters and the Prowling Lions may have something to say about that. It's the Lions and the Mustangs, and it's coming up next here on the Mustang Sports Network. Hello and a warm welcome inside Appalachian Bible College, the gymnasium here on campus. I'm Luke Wiggs. Christian Jucklin, unfortunately, unable to join me today, but I'm sure he is watching in class where he's supposed to be paying attention, but nonetheless he's joining us on our stream, and I'm sure. All right, thank you all for joining us wherever you may be across the great state of West Virginia, around the country, or heck, even around the world. The Mustangs coming into this tournament as the 6th seed, as I'll pull up the girls bracket for you here. Special thank you to Mrs. Wiggs, who was able to set that up for me. The game that was played just previously, Elk Valley, but defeating Beth Haven, they'll move on. I unfortunately don't have that graphic for you yet. The Mustangs they're waiting the winner of this game, the Lewisburg Baptist game against Morgantown Christian Academy, to see who they will play. Now, before we set up our equipment here, I got to spend a couple of minutes with Morgantown Christian Academy head coach Mitchell Bland. I have that interview for you here. Let me go ahead and fire that away.
official of West Virginia Christian Education Association. I want to welcome you to the second game today of our 2019 Basketball Championship Series.
All right. I apologize for you guys whose technical difficulties. Perhaps you were unable to hear that interview there. I'm going to pause a few seconds as Dr. Fisher announces the team's praise and gives the starting lineup.
Before we announce our lineup this morning, I'm going to ask Pastor Jonathan Coleman from over at Lewisburg Baptist Church to come and pray for us. So would you all please stand?
While you're standing, we'd like for everyone to pray, if you would, for Jason Mathis, for his dad, Larry Mathis, who's having an open heart surgery at 5:30 in the morning in Morgantown. And so if you'll pray for him, we would greatly appreciate that. And that's Larry Mathis, to remember in your prayers. Let's pray together. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. Dear Lord, we pray for Mr. Mathis, dear God, tomorrow to give him strength and to be with him as he goes through his battery test today. And Lord, we pray that you'll be with him and help him strengthen him. Lord, we thank you for this game. We thank you for this opportunity to play. We thank you for our conference. Thank you for Dr. Fisher and all the hard work he's put forth and all those around him. Lord, we pray that you bless this game, that you keep every young lady from injury, and we pray that our actions and reactions will honor and please you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thanks, Pastor. We've had an exciting week in West Virginia, a couple weeks really, with the legislature struggling as to whether we're going to really have choice and opportunity in West Virginia for families to choose where they want to be able to send their children to school. And we thank the Lord for all the attention and blessings that he's given everything. Just ask you to continue to pray for that effort. All right. Our visiting team this morning from Morgantown, West Virginia. They are coached by Mitchell Bland and Chad Williams. The starting lineup for the Mustangs today. Senior number 14 is Megan Beckner. Number 25 is Carol Wolf. Number 21 is Katie White. Number 31 is Jenna Phillips. Number 22 is Brooklyn Bain. Senior number 32 is Susanna Fox. Senior number 15 is Candace Bennett. Number 30 is Brianna Lamasters. Number 10 is Emily Wilson. And number 33, Autumn Barker. And now our starting lineup for the Lewisburg Baptist Academy Lions. They are coached by Jason Mathis, Aaron Houston, Chad Harris, and Sarah Harris. Starters for today. Senior number 5 is Kendra Honecker. Number 2 is Emily Conway. Number 32 is Ava Barkley. Number 1 is Madison Bruce. Number 2 is Andrea Coleman. Number 31 is Lindsay Boone. Number 11 is senior Emma Grant. Number 13 is Madison Rawson. Number 4 is Ava Anderson. Number 12 is Anna Houston. Number 22 is Abigail Mathis. And number 15, Leslie Packard.
Starting lineups there, courtesy of Dr. Fisher here at Appalachian Bible College, as now he announces the officials for the contest for the Mustangs. Megan Beckner starting the leading scorer for this team. She'll start at a guard position. Jenna Phillips manning the middle for this Mustang team. Carol Wolf will play the floor. Brooklyn Bland and Kaylee White, I should say, a pair of 2 guards for this Mustangs team. I have 4 of the 5 starters for Lewisburg. Not 100% sure who the 5th one is. We'll get that sorted out for you here. These teams have met 2 times in the regular season. As I pointed out in the scene setter, the first game was at the road at Lewisburg. The Mustangs lost 52-50. The second game was at home at Kelsey Moore. Again, the Lewisburg Lions defeating the Mustangs 51-36. They jumped out to a 12-4 lead in that game. Emily Comer had 17 points in the first half, and Morgantown Christian Academy leading scorer Megan Beckner was scoreless in that half. Lewisburg began the second half with an 8-0 run. They led by 20 with 4 minutes left in the fourth. The Mustangs went on an 8-0 run of their own to cut it down to 12, but unfortunately that was not enough. And again, the final score was 51-36. 2 Mustang players scored in double figures in that game, and Carol Wolf was the only one. Leah Comer for Lewisburg scoring in double figures as well. But we're set to tip it away here at Appalachian Bible College. Carol Wolf will tip this ball away against Madison Bruce, and the tip is controlled by the Mustangs, and here they come quickly into the hands of Megan Beckner. She takes the ball all the way to the rim. Fadeaway shot no good. Carol Wolf is there for the rebound. She pulls it down, but a jump ball is called. Immediately the possession will go to the Lady Lions of Lewisburg, and the Mustangs set up some extended pressure there as we see the ball being brought down by Anna Barclay. Barclay passes to the far side. Emily Comer, the Comer sisters, you're going to have to watch out for them as right on cue, Leah Comer steps into a three. It rattles off both sides of the rim and is rebounded by the Mustangs. They did the majority of the damage to this Mustangs team last time, specifically Emily Comer, number 3. So look out for her name as this game goes on. Here's the Mustangs now on offense. Kaylee White drives the baseline. We have a foul called as Mitchell Bland explodes off the bench. Happy with Kaylee Wolf drawing that foul. That's going to go against Madison Bruce, and quickly we have our first foul of the game as the Mustangs inbound the ball. This is Brooklyn Bland. She gets it into Megan Beckner in the left corner. Just 30 seconds gone here in the first game of the state tournament for this Mustangs team. Here's Carol Wolf spinning on the block, putting it in off the glass. Carol Wolf. And the Mustangs jump out to a 2-0 lead with 7:40 remaining here in, 7:20 I should say remaining here, and we have a ball off the hands of Emily Comer, but she comes up with a loose ball. She threw it away, but Madison Bruce is there to track down the loose ball. She drives in. She's harassed by Megan Beckner, who deflects the ball out of bounds. That's going to be off Madison Bruce. The possession will go back to the Mustangs. Impressive ball pressure applied by them early. Mitchell Bland is loving it. Back the other way comes Megan Beckner, again a leading scorer for this team, but the last time these two teams played, Lewisburg had her number. She was unable to score until the second half. She hit a couple of free throws. Here the Mustangs try to go down to the post again. That's Jenna Phillips. The ball is turned over. I believe Kaylee White threw a bounce pass a little bit past her grasp. So these teams trade turnovers, and Lewisburg will have the ball. Anna Barclay still running the point. Gives it up to Comer. Brooklyn Bland, I should say, is on her. She passes to her younger sister, Leah Comer, sends away a three. That's no good. The ball deflected off the hands of Kendra Honecker. It goes back to the Mustangs, and now we see Lewisburg applying their three-quarter trap defense. They played this against the Mustangs in Morgantown. It was extremely effective, especially in taking the ball out of Megan Beckner's hands, and now she tries to break the press by herself. She finally gets the ball across to Brooklyn Bland. I believe we have a travel called. Apologize, it's past my vantage point here in the corner. Brooklyn Bland, was a jump ball there, but she came away with the possession and then took a couple of steps, so the possession goes right back to Lewisburg. A minute and a half gone, 2-0 still our score. Advancing the ball still is Barclay, and the Lady Lions work the ball around. Here's a three sent away by Barclay, or perhaps a long two, no good off back iron, rebounded by Carol Wolf. That ball's loose on the floor. A couple of jerseys dive on the floor to get the ball, but it's recovered by Barclay. She gives up the dribble and gives it to Comer. They work the ball around. This is Honecker on the left wing. Now to Comer. Back up top to the younger Comer as they play catch with each other. And now to the far corner, stepping into a three. That's Barclay, and that's no good. The rebound tipped and controlled by Megan Beckner, and look at her go in transition. She's double teamed now, triple team, loses the ball. She turns it over. Back the other way comes Lewisburg now in transition. They do not have numbers, but pushing the ball all the way up, and a shot no good is Anna Barclay. It's rebounded by the Mustangs, but that pass is deflected out of bounds. Kendra Honecker there with the active hands. The Mustangs will regain possession, but that gives Lewisburg time to set up their trap. And the Mustangs get the ball into one of their forwards. Now up ahead to Megan Beckner. The ball is deflected off of her fingertips. We'll see which direction they go. It'll stay with the Mustangs. A little bit of a jostle there right in front of our vantage point here at midcourt in Appalachian Bible College. 5:42 remaining in the first quarter. 2-0 still. The Mustangs score. A lone basket being scored by Carol Wolf. Here's Kaylee White now to Megan Beckner at the free throw line. She steps into an awkward floater, but it's rebounded by Carol Wolf, and she sticks it back in for two. Carol Wolf, all 4 points of this contest. The Mustangs extend their lead 4-0. 5:30 remaining in the first quarter. Now the Lady Lions look to answer. This is Comer. With Kaylee White on her, she crosses over, drives into a double team, passes inside, that floater up, no good by Honecker. Rebounded by Jenna Phillips. Look at her rip the ball away and get it into the hands of Megan Beckner. She takes the ball down the floor. She's stripped of the ball by Anna Barclay. Well, that's going to be, they're going to call a foul there. It's going to have to go against Anna Barclay. So 2 quick fouls now on Lewisburg, and the first on Barclay. And here comes Megan Beckner. She drives down the lane, passes the backside. Jenna Phillips, yes sir, off glass. A nice find by the veteran point guard Megan Beckner, and the Mustangs now lead 6-0. These teams very evenly matched up in their first 2 games of play. There's a 3 sent away by Comer, and that's good. Lewisburg gets on the board. And the Mustangs struggling to get the ball in. They get it back to Brooklyn Bland. She turned it over. That's not what you want to see if you're the Mustangs. Well, they're going to change that 3-pointer to a 2. The referee beckoning to us. As now we have Comer driving in. She gets all the way to the rim, puts it up with the left hand. No good. Rebounded inside by Emily Comer, and she's fouled. Foul called on the MCA player. I'm not 100% sure who that was, unfortunately. I'll try to get that for you just in a moment. A little unsure here at the scorer's table. We'll get that for you briefly. Hopefully the inbounds passed all the way by the Mustangs. Outlet it up the head to Megan Beckner. She's got a head of steam. Comer cuts her off to the rim, but look at Megan Beckner change the shot in midair and get it to go. Megan Beckner with her first 2 points of the game. You'd love to see her get going. And the Mustangs lead by 6. 8-2 our score. Lewisburg to work the ball around. This is Comer. Her floater in the lane's no good. She traces down her own miss, but it's an over-the-back call on her. Emily Comer fouled the Mustang player following her shot, knocked her over a little bit.
Who was the foul line down there before this?
And the Mustangs will look to inbound the ball. We'll have a stoppage here briefly. We're still looking to get to the bottom of who that last foul was on. The officials congregating. It's very quiet here in Appalachian Bible College. And that foul was on Carol Wolf. Her first and the team's first.
This one was on number 3. Okay, that's her first.
And we got that sorted away. The Mustangs will inbound the ball again to look to break the pressure. They outlet it up ahead. A nice lob pass into the front court, chased down by Carol Wolf. She's met at the rim by Comer, who deflected that ball out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mustangs, but an excellent defensive play by Emily Comer to chase down that ball and slap it off the leg of Carol Wolf. This is Bland to inbound the ball underneath her own basket for the Mustangs. And she turns the ball over. It's stolen away by Barclay, but stolen back away by Kaylee White and then recovered by Bruce, but they're going to say a foul is called. Bruce was body checked. Running down the sideline, they're going to call that foul on Carol Wolf, the second team foul of the Mustangs, with 4 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. 8-2 is our score. The Mustangs lead the Lewisburg Lions. Here's Bruce with the ball with Beckner on her. Looking to work the ball around. That's the youngest Comer, Leah. She had a 3. She thought twice about it. She passes out to Emily Comer. She'll take the 3. And it's good. Well, the first one, I apologize. The first one by Leah was a 2. That one definitely was a 3 by Comer, and this lead has been cut down to 3 for the Mustangs. And again, active hands by Lewisburg. That ball deflected out of bounds by Barclay. And now we have a stoppage. We've got some blood on the court. Megan Beckner looked down at her hand and saw it was covered, and she said it wasn't hers. So a little bit of a problematic situation here. And Appalachian Bible College, as the players run to their respective benches, and we're getting this sorted out. Again, 8-5 our score. The Mustangs lead. The Mustangs scoring in a variety of different ways, but most of it coming from the post. Megan Beckner with 2 points, Jenna Phillips with 2, Carol Wolf with 4 points to lead all scores. On the other side, Emily Comer, who uncorked that 3, as we've got some blood on jerseys. We'll see what the officials rule it. I remember when I played, you had to stop until the blood was removed from your jersey, but the biggest concern, I think, that is where it came from. Not 100% sure. Hopefully that gets sorted out. But again, Emily Comer hitting that 3 for Lewisburg. Her younger sister Leah with the 2 points as well to make up for 5 of the Lewisburg Baptist points. Again, the first time these teams played, the Comer sisters combined for 38 points. That's 38 of Lewisburg's 51. So it's going to be key for the Mustangs to do what they can to limit them on the offensive end of the floor. That's something Mitchell Bland touched on in his pregame interview. I apologize for those of you at home who were unable to listen to that. I will replay it again at the half. We've got some technical difficulties that we're experiencing here at Appalachian Bible College. Well, we've got a lot of girls contaminated with the blood now, 5 or 6 of them to be in fact, and they're still not 100% sure where it came from. Well, we've got that sorted out. 3:37 remaining in the first quarter. Again, 8-5 the score. The Mustangs, the 6th seed, coming in underdogs against this Lewisburg team, but you know, you hear it, a lot of coaches say this over the course of a season. It's very tough to beat the same team 3 times, and the Mustangs are definitely give Lewisburg Baptist their money's worth in this game. We'll see what they can do, first of all, to break this pressure. And the Mustangs get the ball into Megan Beckner, and she, with ease, advances the ball across midcourt. Now passes to Kaylee White. She stutter steps, gets it down low to Kara Wolf. The ball is fumbled on the baseline, and another foul is called. 2 Lewisburg players collided with her. That foul is going to go on Kendra Honecker. Just her first team foul. And the Mustangs inbound the ball underneath their own basket again. Brooklyn Bland, the facilitator for this Mustangs team, but she threw the ball away. It's taken away by Barclay, and then Lewisburg has numbers in transition. A 3-on-2. Barclay fumbles the ball, threw it off the back of Emily Comer, who tried to save it in bounds, but she stepped out of bounds. And the Mustangs get the ball right back. A look to extend their lead back to 2 possessions. Bland looking to get the ball in. They're in. I like this press break approach by Mitchell Bland. As they try to get the ball down the floor to Kara Wolf. It's deflected. The Mustangs will get it underneath their own basket. Mitchell Bland, a significant size advantage for the Mustangs in this team between Kara Wolf and Jenna Phillips. He's letting the forwards receive this inbounds pass to use their height and then get it to the guards to run down the floor, create a lot of odd man rushes. A little hockey there for you. And he up and looks at the basket. Here's an inbounds pass to Jenna Phillips. That shot's partially blocked. Barclay comes up with a loose ball, but before she could get ahead of steam, a foul is called on Kara Wolf. That's going to be her second. Now, should this be in the NBA, that would have been a clear path foul. It would have been 2 points for Lewisburg, but high school basketball is the game today, so it's just a regular foul, and Lewisburg will advance the ball down the floor. Barclay still running the point. Now to Comer out of the high post. She drives in, gets it into Bruce, but that ball is turned over. The Mustangs come up with a loose ball. They had numbers all of them. I don't think Megan Beckner realized how open her teammates were, I should say. They had a 4-on-2 and didn't realize it until a second later, but they still retain the possession. 2:55 remaining here in the first quarter as Megan Beckner gets it into Kaylee White. Her mid-range jump shot's no good off the hands of Kara Wolf. It should go back to Lewisburg. No, they're going to say it's the Mustangs ball. I apologize. That far right corner is tough to see from our vantage point. Brooklyn Bland to get the ball in. She gets it into Megan Beckner. She has a look at a floater, but that's partially blocked inside by a Lewisburg Baptist player. Back the other way comes Emily Comer. A chance to tie the game now for Lewisburg. They get it into Barclay. She drives the baseline, gets all the way to the rim and draws the foul. That's on Carol Wolf, and that's going to be her third. Carol Wolf with 3 fouls in the first quarter. We still have 2.5 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Carol Wolf already in foul trouble. That's going to prompt the substitution as Brianna LeMasters comes and kneels down near midcourt. Sub in for Carol Wolf. This is Barclay at the free throw line. Her first shot no good. It's a huge loss for the Mustangs on both ends of the floor. Carol Wolf manning the middle defensively and offensively. She has 4 of the Mustangs' 8 points. And Barclay's next free throw is no good off the front of the rim. Brianna LeMasters had a hand on it, but Lewisburg comes up with the offensive rebound, and now they'll set up their offense. They get it down. Leah Comer, shot off glass, no good. She's fouled. Excellent ball movement there by the Lady Lions. They got the ball down low, and I believe that foul is called on number 31, Jenna Phillips. The Mustangs picking up team fouls in a hurry here. This is Comer at the free throw line, and Lewisburg remains over from the foul line. Next shot by Leah Comer. No good off back iron. The rebound is off the glass. There's a scrum on the floor for it. It's recovered by a Lewisburg Baptist player. The shot up glass, no good. The ball's loose on the floor, pulled down by Emily Comer, but another foul is called. The Mustangs can't find a way to secure a rebound. That foul's going to go on Kaylee White, her second foul. So that's 2 Mustang players in foul trouble, and that's going to prompt a timeout by head coach Mitchell Bland. So to recap the foul situation, Carol Wolf with 3, Kaylee White with 2, and for the Mustangs, that's 6 team fouls. So the next one, Lewisburg Baptist could be shooting in the bonus for the majority of this second half. On their side, there's really not a lot of players in foul trouble. 4 players with 1 in Madison Bruce, Emily Comer, Kendra Honecker, and Anna Barclay. Again, 8-5 is where we stand as you look at your screen there. 2:19 remaining here in Appalachian Bible College. I'll put that girls bracket back on for you. Again, Elk Valley defeated Beth Haven in the first game of the session today. Of course, Lewisburg and Morgantown being played now. The winners of these 2 games will play. And then, of course, that Victory Seneca Trail game will be played directly after this Morgantown Christian Academy game, and that team will advance to play the 1 seed who had the bye, which is Mercer. So now Lewisburg will inbound the ball. This is Barclay looking to get the ball into Comer. She had positioning on the low block with Kaylee White on her. Her shot no good, rebounded by Bland. And a double dribble is called as Bland kind of awkwardly was looking to give up the ball and nobody came back for it. That's going to prompt the substitution. Candace Bennett will come into the game for Brooklyn Bland. So now for the Mustangs defensively. Kind of a box-and-1 situation now with Beckner shadowing Bruce as you see a 3 put in by Barclay, and this game is tied. Anna Barclay, the 3rd Lewisburg player to score today, and back the other way come the Mustangs. Megan Beckner is knocked down hard by Emily Comer. And Mitchell Bland is furious there as Comer picks up her second foul, so some foul trouble now for the Lady Lions. Megan Beckner drove into a double team, didn't realize how open her teammates were on the opposite side, and here's a pass thrown away by Kaylee White, recovered by Barclay, she's fouled. That's going to be a 1-and-1 now, I believe, for Lewisburg. The Mustangs picking up fouls early. That's Brianna Lemaster's first foul, and yes, that's going to prompt free throws. Well, the officials realized just a second late here. That's going to send Anna Barclay to the free throw line. Again, Lewisburg Baptist has yet to hit a free throw, but it's not been the worst thing for them. They're procuring a lot of offensive rebounds. You saw that in the Lewisburg-Morgantown boys varsity game. And of course, we'll get to that later. We invite you to stay along here on the Mustang Sports Network to watch that game as Madison Rowlandson checks into the game for Lewisburg. She'll replace Emily Comer, so the leading scorer for this Lewisburg team is now out of the game with foul trouble. With 2 fouls, we'll see if the Mustangs can capitalize. Here's Megan Beckner breaking the pressure. Candace Bennett was wide open down the floor. Brianna Lemasters comes up with a loose ball. Her shot no good. Into Kaylee White. Kaylee White penetrates. She draws the contact. The shot no good, but she is fouled. The Mustangs now just starting to realize that when they draw these double teams near midcourt, as that foul is going to be on Kendra Honecker. That's her second. The Mustangs are, Megan Beckner, I should say, drawing these double teams near midcourt. She's just starting to realize how open her teammates are on the opposite side. Kaylee White goes to the free throw line. And that shot is good. The Mustangs retake the lead, and that's Kaylee White's first points of the game. Second one good. Excellent form there by Kaylee White. Give her 2 points and give the Mustangs a 2-point lead. 10-8 is where we stand. 1:35 remaining in the first quarter as Lewisburg looks to answer on the other end. Barclay passing into Comer. She steps into a long 3, rattles it home. Leah Comer uncorks another 3-pointer, and just like that, Lewisburg takes the lead back. Here's Megan Beckner. She's trapped. She picks up her dribble. It's stolen away. Here's Madison Bruce in the clear. Layup, good. Her first 2 points of the game, and Lewisburg extends her lead 13-10. Again, Megan Beckner was trapped there. Didn't realize how open her teammates were. Now Candace Bennett with the ball in her hands. She crosses over. She's fouled. That's going to be on number 2. And that's going to prompt a 1-and-1 for the Mustangs. So a lot of early fouls here for both of these teams. We will be shooting free throws for the entirety of the second quarter. Candace Bennett goes to the free throw line. Scoreless in the contest today. She got it to go, so the difference early, the Mustangs hitting their free throws. Lewisburg has yet to convert on a free throw opportunity. Next by Bennett. That one rattles out. The ball's loose on the floor. That should stay with the Mustangs. No, they're going to give it back to Lewisburg. Jenna Phillips got a hand in there. I thought she knocked it off the Lewisburg player, but fortunately the call goes the other way, and the Lions of Lewisburg advancing the ball down the floor with a 2-point lead. Just under a minute to be played here. As we see the Lions work the ball around. This is Bruce controlling it. Looking to swing this ball around. She gets it to Honecker. Honecker looks inside. This is Comer. An awkward shot at the rim. No good. The rebound saved inbounds by Rollinson, but it's saved too. And Morgantown Christian Academy player chased down by Bennett. Deflected out of bounds. The ball will stay with the Mustangs as Barclay with the active hands threw that ball in the direction of the Mustang bench. Here's Megan Beckner. Gets the ball down the floor. Jenna Phillips. Shot up glass. No good, but she's fouled. Would have been huge if she converted that and one opportunity, but she'll get 2 looks at the free throw line as we look to see who this foul is on. That's going to be on Kendra Honecker. That's her 3rd foul. We're still in the first quarter. Kendra Honecker with 3 fouls, so foul trouble now for both of these teams. The leading scorer for Lewisburg and Emily Comer, she has 2, and now a starter in Kendra Honecker has 3 fouls as that first free throw is put in by Jenna Phillips. Give her 3 points now. The Mustangs trail by 1. Phillips could tie it here with a free throw. That shot's good. A number of Lewisburg players jumped into the lane. I thought a violation would be called as Phillips kind of awkwardly pump faked. There's a number of different things an official could call in that situation, but none were called, and we're tied at 13. Let's see if Lewisburg holds for the last shot. This is Barclay swinging the ball around to Comer in the right corner, or the right elbow, I should say. Now back to Barclay. She penetrates, drives into a double team. Awkward shot off glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by Rollinson. That shot partially blocked by Phillips. Rollinson gets it back, throws the shot up off glass, no good. Bennett gets the rebound. A jump ball is called. That possession will go to the Mustangs, and we'll see what they can do with 4.1 seconds remaining. Bennett lobs it into LeMasters. She gives it to Beckner. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Beckner, a double dribble. They're not going to put time on the clock, though, I believe. So 13-13 is where we stand at the end of the 3rd quarter. These teams extremely evenly matched. We knew that coming into this game. Again, the first time these 2 teams met up, the Lions won by a score of 52-50. That game was in Lewisburg. And, of course, Lewisburg defeating the Mustangs 51-36 in Morgantown. We invite you to join us for our next broadcast an hour and a half or so after the conclusion of this one. We'll have varsity boys action for you. Believe it or not, it's the same teams, and believe it or not, it's the same seeding. So we pull up the boys bracket for you now. Lewisburg and Morgantown will square off. Again, the 3-6 game as the Mustangs as well. It's kind of the same script when you look at that game. Lewisburg defeating the Mustangs twice in the regular season, but both of the games being relatively close. The Mustangs, for both girls and guys, they've come into this tournament very dangerous in that 6th seed, and I'll be honest, if I was another team in this tournament, the Mustangs really I wouldn't be the team that I would want to face to begin tournament play here in Appalachian Bible College. But Lewisburg has drawn the task of fending off the Mustangs in both rounds. You see the other games there that will be played later today. Mercer and Seneca Trail, both familiar opponents of the Mustangs. Victory in Elk Valley in the 4-5. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Those teams very evenly matched. And then Beth Haven and Pipestem will square on that 2-7 game you see there on your screen. But until then, we still have some varsity girls action for you here. As Lewisburg has the ball, this is Comer attacking. They put her back into the game with 2 fouls, and immediately she creates offense for herself. She gets in and draws the foul. That foul is going to be on Kaylee White. That's her 3rd. So more foul trouble for these teams as we continue on in the first game of the state tournament for the Mustangs. This is Comer at the free throw line. You got to love the jump there on that free throw attempt. It's good for her. Interesting decision by head coach Mitchell Bland to not use his star player Megan Beckner to guard Emily Comer, probably the most athletic guard on this team. However, Mitchell Bland realizing that he doesn't want Megan Beckner to pick up fouls in the contest, so she's on Madison Bruce and kind of a box-and-one that Morgantown's been playing. Here's Megan Beckner. Candace Bennett. She's double-teamed immediately. across midcourt. We've got well, a loose ball, a kick ball, a slap, a whole number of things you could call here, but nonetheless, the Mustangs get the ball back. This is Megan Beckner. As 30 seconds are gone here in the second quarter. Here's Kaylee White down low, going to work on the low block is Jenna Phillips. First shot, no good. Second shot is good. Jenna Phillips with the offensive rebound and the putback for 2, and we're tied at 15 here in Appalachian Bible College. The 6th seed Morgantown Christian Academy Mustangs tied against the 3 seed Lewisburg Baptist Lions. Here's a long 2 sent away by Comer. The rebound chased down by Jenna Phillips. Well, they're going to say she didn't touch it. And the Mustangs will have possession against this full court, more or less man pressure here as we have a player knocked down to the floor, and that was Barclay. She got to the ball first. Megan Beckner made contact with her, but no foul is called. Head coach Jason Mathis of Lewisburg looking for a push off there from Beckner, and justifiably so. Oh my, almost a backcourt violation, but the Mustangs get it in. Megan Beckner sends away a floater, no good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Emily Comer. She's got a man up ahead of the break. That's her younger sister, Leah. She falls to the ground. Her shot no good. Rebounded by the Mustangs. Carol Wolf collected that, and then she's fouled. That foul's going to go on Madison Bruce. Now Madison Bruce has her second foul as we have a player knocked down to the floor. That might be Leah Comer. You saw her kind of awkwardly fall to the floor. It was on her knees almost when that shot up off the or hit the rim, and she's in a significant amount of pain. Again, 15-5 is where we stand with 6:56 remaining. As finally Leah Comer is helped to her feet. She's limping a little bit gingerly on that left ankle or knee perhaps. Nice round of applause for her, and hopefully she is okay and can rejoin this game. She's been a force for Lewisburg Baptist offensively. She has 5 points, 5 of their 15, along with her sister Emily. They've combined for 10 of Lewisburg's 15 points. But not what you like to see here in the state tournament as a player is shaken up. Jason Mathis is looking for a stoppage. You get 20 seconds to put in a substitution, and he found it in Abigail Mathis, who comes into the game. Here's Megan Beckner breaking the press all by herself off of that lob pass. 6.5 minutes remaining here as Jenna Phillips goes to work on the block again. This time her shot's no good, and this time the loose ball is scooped up by Bruce. She's got a player wide open on the backside, but she doesn't see it. She's cut off at the rim. Now she gets the ball inside to Mathis. Her turnaround jump shot is good. Abigail Mathis, I don't even think she saw the rim when she let the ball go. An impressive spin, an impressive 2 points for her, and Lewisburg has the lead now at 17-15. Here's the ball into LeMasters. Now a cross-court pass for Megan Beckner. We see the Lewisburg faithful chanting for their team. Here's Kaylee White. She steps into a 3. That's air ball. The rebound is loose underneath. The basket's recovered by Mathis. She gets it into the hands of Comer. So now Lewisburg will look to extend on their lead, I should say. But neither one of these teams building much of a advantage in the lead department. I believe the largest was the Mustangs at 5. Here's Comer driving the baseline. That shot's no good. Rebounded by Rollinson. Her shot off glass no good. Rebounded by LeMasters. She gets it in to Jenna Phillips, and she picks up her dribble and gives it in wisely to the point guard Megan Beckner. Beckner down to White. White penetrates. She has a 10-foot floater. That's no good. The rebound pulled in by Bruce, but she's fouled by Candace Bennett. Candace Bennett picks up her first foul, and that should result in free throws on the other end for Lewisburg. .539 remaining. Lewisburg leads 17-15. Madison Bruce at the free throw line. She has 2 points in the contest. To go along with 2 fouls again to recap the foul trouble for you. Madison Bruce with 2. Emily Comer, the leading scorer for Lewisburg, with 2. Kendra Honecker with 3. So that's 3 Lewisburg starters with at least 2 fouls. Bruce's first free throw is no good. She misses the front end of the 1-and-1. The rebound chased down by Barclay. Well, they're going to say it was off of Beckner. It goes back to the Mustangs. The foul trouble for the Mustangs. Carol Wolf has 3, and Kaylee White has 3. That's 2 starters for the Mustangs and a starting shooting guard in Kara Wolf, who briefly was the Mustangs' leading scorer, but she's been now passed by Jenna Phillips. Here's Comer. She has Rollinson and a nice feed inside for Mathis, but she's double-teamed. The ball is poked free. And falling to the floor is Comer. No travel call. She gets it into Bruce. Bruce drives the lane, and she draws the contact from Jenna Phillips and picks up the foul. That's Phillips' second, and now she joins Candace Bennett. I'm sorry, Carol Wolf and Kaylee White in foul trouble for the Mustangs. That's the 10th team foul now for the Mustangs, so Lewisburg will be shooting 2 free throws now on their attempt, and that's exactly what the Lions need. They're struggling from the free throw line in the game. Shot by Bruce, no good, to the right side of the rim. For the Mustangs, you've got Autumn Barker, Megan Beckner, Candace Bennett, Kaylee White, and Jenna Phillips. The 5 on the floor for the Mustangs as that next free throw is put up and in by Bruce. Here's Kaylee White advancing. That pass is tipped and deflected out of bounds. Barclay went to chase it down. She's been very active defensively for this Lewisburg team. She's also running the point extremely well for them. A very key piece for head coach Jason Mathis as we have a timeout now called. Now 18-5 our score. The Mustangs they trail to Lewisburg Baptist. Again, to recap the scoring for you, Megan Beckner with 2 points in this game, Jenna Phillips with 6, Candace Bennett with a single free throw, Carol Wolf with 4, Kaylee White with a pair of free throws to her credit as well. I sat down with Morgantown varsity girls coach Mitchell Bland before this game started. I'll play that interview for everyone at halftime. Hopefully, if I can get the audio system to work. It's a new feature we're trying out, and unfortunately, I don't know the system incredibly well. I know enough to put on the screen what you guys see there right now and talk, and that's about it. But Mitchell Bland gave me a very insightful interview as there's a shot up no good by the Mustangs, and hopefully I can get that to the faithful fans watching this game from wherever you may be. Here's Comer advancing the ball, gets it to Bruce, 18 feet away from the basket. That shot no good, rebounded by White. She tries to get it into Beckner, and now she finally does as Megan Beckner switches to that dominant right hand. She goes all the way to the rim, contact but no foul. The rebound is pulled in by Bruce, and now she attacks the other way. Doing her best Megan Beckner impersonation. Oh my, an offensive foul is called. Madison Bruce, they're going to say she extended the arm. That's her 3rd foul. That won't result in free throws for the Mustangs because it is an offensive foul, but nonetheless, 3 fouls on her. She joins Kendra Honecker as another starting guard with 3 fouls for this Lewisburg Baptist team. So we're going to be interesting to see how that plays out as the Mustangs get the ball into Megan Beckner. The ball is through her hands, but now she chases the ball down to the far corner, gets it inside. Jenna Phillips stops and gives it out to Kaylee White. Here's Bennett from 15 feet. No good. The rebound pulled in by Jenna Phillips. Her shot up off the glass. No good. Rebounded, pulled down by Autumn Barker, and a jump ball is called. That possession stays with the Mustangs. Autumn Barker getting good minutes here with forwards in foul trouble. Carol Wolf has 3 fouls. Because of that, we're getting extended time here. Here's the ball inbounded to Jenna Phillips, and her shot is rejected. A nice block there by Abigail Mathis. And here come Lewisburg. Comer crosses over. They're going to call a foul there in that situation. She crossed over the Mustangs defender. We'll see who that was. 31. Jenna Phillips. And that's her 3rd foul. So the starting forwards for this Mustangs team, both in foul trouble. Jenna Phillips with her 6 points has 3 fouls. Carol Wolf, who's on the bench with her 4 points, she has 3 fouls as well. And that's going to put Emily Comer to the free throw line. She misses the first. She's got 5 points in the game. Tied with her sister Leah as the 2 leading scorers for Lewisburg. The leading scorer for both teams is Jenna Phillips with 6. Next shot up, next shot good. Emily Comer now ties Jenna Phillips as the leading scorer in this game with 6 points. A relatively low-scoring affair early. Last time these 2 teams played, the score was 29-18 at the half, so we're pretty much on pace for the exact same thing, but the difference was Emily Comer went off for Lewisburg. The Mustangs let her score 17 points tonight. She only has 6. And on the flip side of that, Megan Beckner was scoreless at the half as we have a spill on the court apparently. And Megan Beckner has 2 points in this game, so that's something you'd like to see for the Mustangs. So a variety of quirky, whatever you would call it. We had blood earlier, and now we've got a drink. So it is a game of liquids here in Appalachian Bible College as we've got Appalachian Bible College patron. Got the mop out there. We got a couple of towels. The official going down to wipe the floor as a lot of fans are standing around watching and not helping, but it's okay. Oh, now they're joined by a Saints cheerleader of victory. So you love to see the courtesy there as we're still getting this sorted out. A spillage on the floor. Again, this is the 3rd year of the Mustangs girls basketball team, their existence. They're 0 for 2 in tournament play thus far, and head coach Mitchell Bland would love nothing more than to break the ice with their first tournament win, and that could be very likely today. The first 2 times the Mustangs came down here to the state tournament, they lost rather handedly, double-digit scoring. I apologize, I don't have those numbers in front of me, but both times their season ended in blowout losses. But today, they find themselves down just 4 points to a team that they've played pretty straight up in the first 2 matchups of the season, so it's still anybody's game. And both of these teams doing basically exactly what they set it out to do for the Mustangs. They wanted to get the ball down low to the forwards. Jenna Phillips, Carol Wolf combining for 10 points. A lot of that has to do with the playmaking of Megan Beckner and the auxiliary pieces, Kaylee White and such, moving the ball around for the Mustangs. And for Lewisburg, they really wanted to get out and run, get the ball into the hands of the Comers and Madison Bruce and Honecker, and just, do what they can to make it a guards game, a lot more speed, and they've been successful at that as well. So I guess the key for both of these teams moving forward is to see which one of them will come up with a defensive stop. Now we've got the spillage cleared up. We're ready to play again. The Mustangs with the ball. They get it into Megan Beckner in the high post. She penetrates. She's double teamed. She puts up a shot. She was met there at the top. No foul called. And Madison Bruce back the other way, all the way to the rim. Madison Bruce sticks it home. Impressive speed for her, running the ball on both ends of the floor. Caller the Christian School, John Wall, showing off the speed there. Megan Beckner looks to answer. Lewisburg now leading the Mustangs by 6 points. As Beckner penetrates. That shot no good, doesn't hit the rim. Rebounded by Comer. The Mustangs really not settling for good shots. They're taking some wild looks at the rim as Comer gets all the way down in the lane. That shot's no good. The rebound is loose and fired up and in. Emily Comer sticks that home. She had the ball over top of her head, and she shot that ball from behind her head, kind of reminiscent of Carlos Boozer, another NBA reference for you there, and she extends this lead to 8 points. And now we have Candace Bennett. She steps into a long 3. That's not at all what you need if you're the Mustangs. The ball goes right back to Lewisburg, specifically to Bruce. They're going to call it travel as she tried to pass to Anna Barclay, who's wide open on the backside. That pass was a little bit late as you see Jason Mathis step up to Madison Bruce and say, take it all the way. You've been effective thus far. Here's Megan Beckner. She throws the ball into the front court. That's through the hands of Jenna Phillips, so another turnover. So the Mustangs coming up with a lot of empty possessions here against Lewisburg, and now they find themselves trailing by 8 points. Again, this game was tied at the end of the first quarter at 13-13. The Mustangs being outscored by Lewisburg 10-2 in the second quarters. We see a missed shot there by Rollinson, rebounded by Candace Bennett. She attacks all alone. She tries to draw the foul, and now the foul is called on Rollinson. Rollinson unhappy with that call. It was a late whistle, but nonetheless, the foul is whistled on her, and Candace Bennett will go to the free throw line. That's just her first. Again, foul trouble being the number one story of the first half. Mustangs have three players with 3 fouls, and Kaylee White, Carol Wolf, and Jenna Phillips as that shot is put up and in by Candace Bennett, her second free throw, so 2 points for her. And on the other side, you have Kendra Honecker and Madison Bruce with 3 fouls, along with Emily Comer, again the leading scorer for this team, who has 2. Next shot by Bennett, nothing but net. So the Mustangs have this lead back down to 6 points. 23-17 is where the score sits right now with 2:50 remaining in the second quarter. Here's Rollinson. She steps into a 3. That's on target, but it's no good off the front of the rim. And here comes Bennett. Bennett looking for help Instead, she takes the ball herself. An awkward shot, no good. Beckner is there for the rebound, but Comer sticks her hands in there and gets the jump ball. That ball, possession will go back to Lewisburg. Anna Barclay advances, one of the unsung heroes, not the flashiest scorer for this team, but impressive defensive pressure for her along with her playmaking abilities. As I see a little pace and space now from Lewisburg. They're just playing catch around the perimeter, and the Mustangs are staying in their zone. They're challenging Lewisburg to shoot a three. Instead, now they get it into Rollinson. She uncorks an 18-footer. That's no good. Rebounded, though, by Madison Bruce. She tries to stick it back. She does not. That rebound is now pulled down by Emily Comer. So offensive rebounds being a problem. The Mustangs cannot get a rebound underneath the basket. See Jason Mathis and Mitchell Bland up off the benches barking instructions to their team. Mathis wanting to hold the ball. Jason Mathis says, why not? Hold the ball for a minute and 30 seconds. And now Mitchell Bland, he's deciding, well, he's got nothing but time now. He's going to decide to see who he wants to send out and contest the ball. There goes Barker. Barclay gets right around her. She goes up to the rim. She's fouled. Jason Mathis is thrilled with that play, and that's not what you want to see for the Mustangs, and everything you want to see if you're Lewisburg, as that foul goes on Candace Bennett, her second foul. And free throws now for Lewisburg. The Mustangs staying in that 2-3 zone. Not willing to contest these shots, and Jason Mathis says, hey, we've got the lead. We'll take as much time as you guys need. Mitchell Bland responds with Pretzer, and that results in a foul and free throws. Unfortunately, though, for Lewisburg, they're having a hard time from the free throw line tonight. Barclay's next shot is good, so she proves me wrong. Anna Barclay with 4 points, and Lewisburg with a 7-point lead. A minute and a half remaining. Lewisburg sticking to their matchup zone, or more of a man defense look, as here's Candace Bennett. She steps into a 15-footer, a floater, no good. The rebound underneath, put in by Autumn Barker. Autumn Barker again getting extended minutes because of the foul trouble for the Mustang forwards. Carol Wolf is on the bench with her 3 fouls, so Autumn Barker making the most of this opportunity. And now the lead has been cut down to 5, and now we see Lewisburg slowing the ball up again, reminiscent of Barry Sanders, the old Preston High School basketball coach. Used to call it Barry ball, but now we can call it Jason Mathis ball, as now Barclay gets a wide open look to the rim and gets 2 points. Barclay now with 6. Lewisburg now with 26, and their lead is now 7 with 35 seconds remaining here in the first half, and the Mustangs turn the ball over. Megan Beckner threw the ball away. So an empty possession again for the Mustangs, and now you really just need to limit the damage going into the half. You need to keep this game, the lead, at single digits, so you have some confidence going forward. You see a little flare there by Madison Bruce through the behind the back pass, and runs grinning down the floor. And now they'll elect to wait for the last shot, and Mitchell Bland will acquiesce. The Lewisburg fans responding in cheers as Barclay holds the ball at the top of the key. 8 seconds, now 7 seconds. Comer drives in the lane, now pass to Rollinson. She's wide open, her 15-footer no good. Rebound controlled, they have a shot at it. Oh, it's stripped. Barclay went to the rim. She had the ball stripped from her. A nice defensive play by the Mustangs, and they'll keep the score where it's at. 26-19, our score at the half. The Mustangs trail by 7, but there still is life here in Appalachian Bible College as we look through the stat sheets here briefly. Megan Beckner with 2 points. Jenna Phillips to lead the Mustangs with 6 points. Candace Bennett with 3. Carol Wolf with 4. Kaylee White with 2. And again, Autumn Barker with that nice putback off the offensive glass with 2. The other end, Madison Bruce with 5 points. Emily Comer is starting to heat up a little bit offensively. She has 8 points. Anna Barclay with 6. Leah Comer with 5. Again, 26-19 is where we stand. I'm going to go ahead and we have a camera that skies in to give you a nice view of the roof facilities here at Appalachian Bible College. I'm going to go ahead and give this Mitchell Bland interview another try. For the folks at home, I apologize for our technical difficulties, but nonetheless, I sat down with Mitchell Bland in the pregame, and here's what he said. continues here on the Mustang Sports Network. I'm joined alongside Morgantown Christian Academy varsity girls coach Mitchell Bland. And Mitchell, first things first, congratulations on making it to Beckley.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man.
Let's take this season in a snapshot for you, if you will. You come in as a 6th seed. You led by your senior guard. Obviously, we'll get to that in a second. Give me some of the highlights, some of the moments from the season that kind of brought you to where you are today.
Well, I mean, we've grown. I like to see that we grow throughout the year. We've took a couple hard losses, but this year I know we can compete here, which makes it a little exciting because I don't think there's anybody here that we can't beat. So exciting. Hopefully we can play a full 4 quarters and get active and create some chaos.
Now, obviously, the backbone of this team is your senior guard, Megan Beckner, and how important is it for you to get her active offensively and defensively in the game today?
Well, that's true, and everybody knows it this year, and that's why it's a little bit harder for us. But I think her activity is going to be more unseen to some people because she's going to have to hit the boards hard, get some putbacks, not really be that go-to guard that we need because they're going to key on her, maybe put 2 people on her. So we're prepared to utilize our other guards, and hopefully that'll work out for us.
Well, talk about some of the tertiary players, if you will. Your daughter Brooklyn, obviously, and Kaylee, you've really kind of progressed and developed this season, just come into their own offensively. What have you seen from them that's led to their improvement?
Well, I mean, they're not wanting to do things. A lot of times we go looking at Megan, and it's been our weakness. And this year, finally, they're stepping into their own and doing some of their own things, which has allowed us to progress and compete better this year.
Let's talk about this Lewisburg team. You played them twice this season. Both games have been relatively close. The first game being decided by a couple of points. The last game being decided more like 15, but that was, a little bit of a bloated score at the end. What have you seen from this Lewisburg team? What are you looking to prepare for today?
Well, they're two-sided. I mean, they got 2 guards that score 95% of their points. I mean, our game plan is to make sure somebody else beats us this time. So as long as we can do that for 4 quarters, I like the game plan that we have going in. I do like their 2 guards, though. They're strong, they're active, they're smart. We gotta be smarter and hopefully disrupt them and get them frustrated like we did the first game.
Potentially for people who are watching this Mustangs girls team for the first time, if this girls team is firing on all cylinders on both ends of the floor, what are you guys doing well?
Well, I mean, we would like to get active. Like I said, we're a chaotic team. The more chaotic we are, the more movement we have on defense. We disrupt, we turn over. Our offense is our defense. And when that happens, we're pretty strong team. Half-court-wise, we're getting better. Our bigs are getting stronger. Against this Lewisburg team, they don't have a big that can stop our bigs, so it's a matter of us stopping them on one end and us getting down there and making them get in foul trouble on the other end.
All right, Coach, let me pick your brain here for a second really quick. It's 6 seconds to go in the game. You got the ball underneath your own basket. You're tied. Who takes the last shot for this team?
Well, we've actually worked on that. It's funny you say that, Luke. And so, I mean, really, to be honest with you, you would think Megan, and that's what we want everybody to think. But I would probably put the ball in Kara's hands, Kara Wolf, and let her be a disruption down low because everybody's going to key on Megan. We've got a play where Megan looks like a decoy, and Kara should be wide open for a layup. So I'm hoping that happens, Luke.
All right, Coach. So again, congratulations on making it this far, and I wish you good luck today.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, that was head coach of the varsity girls team, Mitchell Bland. Coming up, we'll have more coverage here on the pregame show. You're listening to the Mustang Sports Network.
Well, I lied. There isn't necessarily coverage on the pregame show because, well, we kind of blew it with our technical difficulties there in the first half, but I'm glad I finally got to give that interview to you. We were able to pick the brain of truly a basketball genius there, and Mitchell Bland, the head coach of the Lady Mustangs varsity basketball team. Again, our score at the half, 26-19. This game was tied at the end of the first quarter, 13-13, but the Mustangs being outscored 13-6 in the second quarter. A lot of that having to do with Emily Comer' ability to create her own shot. The Mustangs also losing some of their depth, I guess, their height inside. Kara Wolf with her foul trouble. I'll go along with Kaylee White and Jenna Phillips. The Lewisburg players are back on to, or no, I apologize. We have players warming up for the next game. Seneca Trail is out shooting to our immediate right. They will face off against Victory, as you see there in your brackets, to play the 1-seed Mercer, who had the bye. As I mentioned, Elk Valley defeated Beth Haven. That score was 60-something to in the low teens, if I recall. The Elk Valley winning decisively there, and they are waiting to see the winner of this Lewisburg-Morgantown team. So an exciting first day of action here at Appalachian Bible College. The second day shaping up potentially to be even more exciting if you see a Mercer-Seneca Trail or Mercer Victory matchup, and then hopefully a Elk Valley Morgantown Christian Academy matchup for that second day game you see there on your screen. The Mustangs, or the Lewisburg Baptist players, are back out onto the floor shooting around. Again, you see the scoreboard there, 26-19. We invite you to join us again immediately following this broadcast. Well, not immediately, more or less an hour or so after this broadcast, we'll have varsity boys action. Again, the Mustangs playing Lewisburg as well. Last time those teams matched up, it was, wow, I mean, it was one of the most exciting games that we covered here on the Mustang Sports Network. Of course, the Mustangs unfortunately lost 57-52. That game was a 1-point game at the half. The Mustangs had the lead at the end of the first quarter, 16-7, but then Lewisburg went on a run of their own. They outscored 21-11 to kind of open things up and make it a 1-point game at the half. It remained a 1-point game at the end of the third quarter with Lewisburg leading by a point, and then of course the final 57-52. Noah Karelko, the leading scorer for that Mustangs team with 15, Silas Beckner with 12, Harrison Linkus with 11. One of the more balanced scoring games we saw for the Mustangs all season. And on the other side, Logan Toothman hitting a couple of threes for Lewisburg, had 13 to go along with Isaac Bean and his 23 points. So he's really the player to watch for and the player for the Mustangs to key on defensively. It was a heartbreaking end to that game. If those of you at home can recall, the Mustangs were down 3. Rollinson was at the free throw line for the Lewisburg team, and he missed both free throws. So you're thinking, you know, the Mustangs have the ball, 13 seconds left. They had a chance at a shot, but Rollinson being the only player, or the only Lewisburg player, near to collect the rebound, and somehow the ball ended up in his hands. He was fouled again. Then the Mustangs, or of course Rollinson hit those free throws, and the Mustangs lost by 5 points. Some of you may remember that deep three-pointer that Noah Karelko hit in that game, I believe, to make it a 1-point game. He stepped into a triple 8 or 9 feet behind the free throw lines, and one of the most incredible things I've seen him do all season. If you go back and listen to the call, I was shook, as they say. Well, about 1:20 remaining here before we have third quarter action for you. Again, Morgantown Christian Academy, the 6th seed, trailing the 3rd seed, Lewisburg Baptist, the Lady Lions, 29-16. The Mustangs are finally out of their locker room, going over the adjustments that they need to make in the second half. A lot of that would be limiting this team in transition, but the biggest part of that would be not turning the ball over as much. This Lewisburg Baptist pressure has been fantastic. And the few final seconds dwindling on the halftime clock as the teams come out of their respective huddles. The Mustangs with Candace Bennett, Megan Beckner, Kaylee White, Kara Wolf, and Jenna Phillips on the floor. Again, remember, Jenna Phillips and Kara Wolf and Kaylee White all playing with 3 fouls. So if one of them were to pick up an early one, they'd have to sit for the majority of the third quarter and probably the first couple of minutes of the fourth quarter as well. Lewisburg will counter with Anna Barclay, Emily Comer, Abigail Mathis, Madison Rollinson, and I believe Madison Bruce. There's a player blocked from my view. Yes, that's Madison Bruce. So those are the 5 on either side of the floor, and the Mustangs have possession to begin. As they try to get the ball down low immediately, they do so to Kara Wolf. She had a shot, but now she passes out of it. Wise move by her not to force up anything she doesn't necessarily think she converts. She gets it into Megan Beckner. She passes to Bennett. Bennett from 15, no good. Rebounded, is taken away by Lewisburg and Emily Comer. And she's going to look to push to see if Lewisburg will come up with numbers. She takes it all the way by herself, and that's no good. Now the Mustangs throw the outlet pass. Jenna Phillips, no, that's not a backcourt violation. You're allowed to go into the backcourt and retrieve the ball, I thought. Well, I've seen it happen in college and the NBA, but officials here by a different set of rules. Is now Lewisburg has possession, 26-19 our score, and they look to build on their lead. A early turnover. The Mustangs had their 2 forwards in transition but unfortunately can't make a shot out of it as now we see Barclay driving all the way to the rim. That shot's no good. Rebounded, pulled down by Mathis. Her follow isn't any good, and now the Mustangs with possession as they look to cut into this lead. Here's Bennett left wide alone, and we have a foul away from the ball. That shot was no good. Emily Comer hit the floor. We'll see if an offensive foul would be called there. And it would be. That's Carol Wolf, and that's her 4th foul. A minute to go, or a minute played already in the 3rd quarter, and Carol Wolf now has 4 fouls. And of course, being the offensive foul, it's a turnover and another empty possession to begin the half for the Mustangs. Here's Barclay, swings the ball around. This is Rollinson left wide alone. The Mustangs staying in their more or less box and one zone. Or no, I'm sorry, they're playing straight man. Here's Barclay, pass to the corner. This is Rollinson. Again, has that 3 if she wants to take it, but she will not. Now Lewisburg will kill a little bit more time. Here's Rollinson again on the right elbow. Bennett, I should say, will extend her pressure. Here's Emily Comer. She tripped on a Mustang player. It might have been Megan Beckner, and she turns the ball over, and now the Mustangs attack the other way. So both of these teams with a lot of empty possessions to begin the half. 26-19 is still the score with 2 minutes gone. Here's Carol Wolf. She's blocked to the top of her jump shot by Abigail Mathis. That ball will stay with the Mustangs. An impressive defensive play. Abigail Mathis against Carol Wolf. Here's Bennett to inbound the ball underneath her own basket. Again, 5:51 remaining. She gets it into Kaylee White. White looking for Beckner, and she finds her. And now Megan Beckner will go to work with Barclay on her. Barclay's been guarding Beckner for the majority of this game as we have a foul called. The shot was good, but I believe the foul's going to go against Anna Barclay. Should be on the floor, I believe so, yes. So 2 fouls now on Barclay. The foul trouble for again Madison Bruce with 3, Emily Comer with 2, Kendra Honecker with 3, and Anna Barclay with 2. There's an inbounds pass and a shot by the Mustangs, no good, and here comes Comer in transition. She attacks all the way to the other end of the floor, and she is knocked down hard underneath the basket. She's flat on her back. She gets up quickly. No, they're not going to. Well, they're going to give possession there to the Mustangs. So, again, away from my vantage point, it was really tough to see what the call there. Comer was knocked down hard, must have thrown the ball out of bounds, and the Mustangs have possession. Neither one of these teams have scored yet to begin the 3rd quarter, and we've got 2.5 minutes gone. Here's Megan Beckner attacking all the way to the rim, puts a shot off glass, no good. There's Jenna Phillips with the follow, and she's blocked this time by Madison Rollinson. So these Lewisburg forwards not backing down against the Mustangs. Attacking on the other end is Madison Bruce, and she's got 7 points now. She's a blur in transition, using her speed to get to the rim. First 2 points of the second half. Lewisburg now leads by 9. Here's Bennett. That shot no good. An air ball, and it's deflected out of bounds. And they're going to say it stays with the Mustangs. Candace Bennett, all 3 of her points have come from the free throw line. She's yet to hit a field goal, but that has not deterred her from continuing to shoot in this game, and we'll see if she can step into one here as now the inbounds pass is thrown away. Here's Barclay. She's got a head of steam. You don't want to foul if you're Beckner, but Beckner puts the shoulder into her and drives her into the pad underneath the basket. It was almost a hockey play there by Megan Beckner, and that's just going to be her first foul. So it's good to see Beckner not in foul trouble for this Mustangs team. You like to see her on the floor as much as possible, but she plowed into Barclay there. Kind of reminiscent of Ryan Reeves and the St. Louis Blues for those NHL fans out there. Here's Anna Barclay at the free throw line, and she airballs the first. Barclay only has 1 made free throw today. Lewisburg struggling from the free throw line, but yet they still lead by 9. Barclay's next one rolls off the front of the rim and out. The rebound is loose and now recovered by the Mustangs. They get it into Megan Beckner. Carol Wolf still in the game with her 4 fouls as we have a warning there to Jason Mathis, who was out near midcourt. Here's Carol Wolf down low. She's blocked again by Abigail Mathis. Abigail Mathis, impressive defensive work against Carol Wolf. A couple of blocks, and Kara Wolf had 4 points early in this game with just a couple minutes gone in the first quarter. Hasn't scored since then. 4:38 remaining. The clock is not started. Now the officials will blow the whistle, and now they'll get that sorted out. Mitchell Bland takes this opportunity to set up his defense. He's very vocal as a head coach. I love to see it. Here's Emily Comer dribbling the ball. A double screen was set for her. She gets all the way to the rim and gets 2 points. A designed play for Emily Comer there. She had the ball on the right elbow. 2 Lewisburg players came up and set a double screen to her to roll around, and as a result of that, she got a wide open look at the rim. And now this lead has been increased to 11, so this ball game could get out of hand as we see Brooklyn Bland step into a 3. That's no good. The rebound chased down, and Bland's going to refire. This time she got it. Brooklyn Bland, and that's what you need if you're the Mustangs. Trading 2s for 3s and cutting this lead back down to single digits. So as I was about to say, the Mustangs don't want this lead to get away from them, and on cue they cut it back down to 8 points. Mustangs down to man defense, not allowing this Lewisburg team to dribble much time off the clock. Here's Comer attacking. She's got a lane downhill. She's met at the bottom by Jenna Phillips. Oh my, the Mustangs had a wide open play in transition there, but the ball's thrown away. 8 points now the lead for Lewisburg. Here's Barclay. Gets it down to Rollinson. That ball through her fingertips, but she chases it down. Kara Wolf on her. And now a timeout is called by head coach Jason Mathis of Lewisburg. 30-second timeout is called. The Mustangs being outscored in the quarter 4-3, so more or less back and forth. This was a 7-point lead at the half. It's an 8-point lead now. But you really can't trade basket for basket with this Lewisburg team being down as many points as the Mustangs are, and you're looking to see who's going to step up and emerge as a scorer for this team. Again, Kara Wolf has gone silent. Candace Bennett continues to fire those mid-range jump shots, but she's yet to connect. Megan Beckner had 2 points in the first half. She's scoreless in the second. Jenna Phillips scoreless as well. The only 3 points of the second half coming from Brooklyn Bland, that three-pointer just a moment ago. Lewisburg maintains possession right in front of their own sideline here at Appalachian Bible College. I always love playing on this floor. It's one of the nicest wooden floors we play on all season. You can see why there on your screen. Nice sheen coming off of it. And here comes Lewisburg. A nice crossover by Barclay. She gets to the rim and gets it to go. A veteran move by a veteran player there in Anna Barclay, and a 10-point advantage now for Lewisburg. A great roll to the rim there, and Brooklyn Bland looks to answer. She's got the hot hand, but she misses this 3. Here's Bruce. She had a man open. She doesn't need it. She takes it all herself, but she misses the layup. Had a wide open look there. She beat everybody down the floor, including her own man. Here's Megan Beckner, who loses the ball on the far sideline. It's recovered by Barclay. She gives it to Bruce, and a wide open layup extends this lead now to 12 points. Madison Bruce now with 9 points in the game, and that's a timeout called by Mitchell Bland. As you see the score now, 34-22. The Mustangs again hoping this lead doesn't get too out of hand as they've been outscored in the quarter 8-3. Again, another look at the girls bracket. The Mercer team. There's a 7-team race this year, so the 1 seed got the bye, and the bottom 3 teams played for a spot in the second day here at Appalachian Bible College. I mentioned Elk Valley defeating Beth Haven. The Seneca Trail and Victory game will start as soon as this one concludes, and of course that 3-6 game you're watching right now here on the Mustang Sports Network. Here early Thursday morning. Well, that's not that early. It was 11:12, but it was early for me when I had to wake up at 5:30 this morning and drive all 164 miles to get from the campus of Morgantown Christian Academy down here to Appalachian Bible College. It'll be the Mustangs ball with 2:33 remaining in the third quarter. Again, hoping to at least make this lead single digits going into the fourth to keep their hopes alive. Here's Brooklyn Bland. She's just going to keep firing them, and that shot's no good off the front of the rim. Now Bland now 1 for 4 over behind the arc. We'll see if they continue to go for her offensively, if they leave her open. Here's Comer attacking. Bland switches on her. Comer's got the height advantage. She has it on White too, and now she steps into a 10-footer, or a 15-footer I should say, that rattles around the rim, and the Mustangs have possession. We'll see if they can convert now. Here's Bland, left open. That shot partially blocked. It's loose and recovered by Comer, and you've got to cut her off in transition. They do not, and she's got a 3-on-2. She gets it inside. Madison Bruce puts the ball on the floor to Barclay. Her shot, no good off the back of the rim. It's saved, or deflected out of bounds. They're going to say that stays with Lewisburg. Looking to inbound the ball now. And they are unable to, so that's going to prompt another timeout by Jason Mathis. Mercer versus Seneca Trail. Mercer, the favorite, of course, to win it all, to continue their dynasty. They've been very dominant as far as the boys' side of things go. They're dominant, frankly, in the regular season. The girls' side, too. They're the #1 seed in both the guys' and girls' brackets. So finally, we have basketball to be played here out of the timeout. They run a design play from Madison Bruce. That pass was thrown a little bit awkwardly. She had a wide open lane, but instead she'll pull the ball out and set up the offense. Goes between the legs, gets to the glass. That shot no good off the front of the rim, and here comes Megan Beckner. Megan Beckner has numbers. Decides to take it all herself. She's stripped of the ball. It's recovered by Bland. She dribbles out to the three-point line. She probably wanted to shoot it again there as Beckner penetrates, puts up a hook shot. No good. The rebound pulled down and stuck in by Jenna Phillips. Jenna Phillips makes it a 10-point game. She's the leading scorer for the Mustangs team with 8 points. Attacking downhill, here's Barclay. A nice look to the opposite side, and Abigail Mathis. Barclay, a tremendous playmaker, but this Lewisburg Baptist team, they've got a lot of playmakers, a lot of girls that can handle the ball extremely well. They're going to be, potentially, should they advance, they're going to be dangerous for whoever faces them in the second round, but hopefully that's not the case. The Mustangs pull one out here as Megan Beckner attacks and draws the foul. Just under a minute to be played. Megan Beckner goes to the free throw line. They have a foul whistled there, not sure who it was on. Megan Beckner will go to the free throw line. And the first shot for her is no good. Megan Beckner again being held to just the lone field goal in the first half, so Mustangs hoping to get her going offensively. And the next shot is no good and rebounded by Rollinson. Jenna Phillips deflected that ball out of bounds. The possession will go to Lewisburg. Here's Bruce. She attacks. She tried to get a little fancy there and sneak a pass into Mathis. It's off her feet. Well, they're going to say it's off the foot of a Mustang player. The possession will stay with Lewisburg. Now we have Emily Comer, the ball in her hands with now Comer out of the high post. She gets all the way to the rim. Her fadeaway shot no good. The rebound pulled down by Mathis. Her shot no good. She gets it back. She fires again. That's no good. It's pulled down by Bruce. Bruce all alone underneath and gets it to go. Madison Bruce, one of the smallest players on the floor, came up with that offensive rebound and stuck it home. She's now become the leading scorer for Lewisburg in this game, using her speed and their ability to hit on the offensive glass. Another three sent away by Brooklyn Bland. It's a little early for desperation threes as the final seconds dribble off the clock. Bruce, that was Bruce who fired away a shot 30 feet away from the basket. It's no good, and just like that, we've reached the end of the third quarter. 38-24 is where we stand. The Mustangs being outscored in that quarter 12-5. So to recap what we've seen thus far, this game was tied at 13 at the end of the first quarter. Lewisburg outscoring the Mustangs 13-6 in the second quarter to make it 26-19, and then outscoring them again 12-15 in the third quarter to make it 38-24, which is where we stand now in a 14-point advantage for the Lady Lions of Lewisburg. Jenna Phillips, the leading scorer for the Mustangs with 8. We'll see how much they rely on her down the stretch. The leading scorer for Lewisburg is Madison Bruce, who becomes the first player of the game in double figures. I'm sorry, the second player of the game in double figures. She has 11. Emily Comer, with a bunch of free throws, has 10 in the game, so she was the leading scorer before that. Offensive rebound and put back there by Madison Bruce. So it's desperation time now for the Mustangs in the fourth quarter. You're going to have to score quickly. You're going to have to create opportunities and pressure and turnovers, and a lot of things have to happen right, but there's still a chance, and the Mustangs still have life. So you see them in their huddle there. Mitchell Bland doing what he can to get his girls fired up and take on this Lewisburg Lions team head on. So it's a tale of two different huddles there. Again, Mitchell Bland wants to speed this game up, give the Mustangs as many opportunities to score as possible. Jeff Mathis of Lewisburg, on the other hand, he just wants to kill as much time as we have a mix-up as to who to give the possession to here to begin the half. I'm going to say black ball. Well, now they switch it back to white, so things not off on the right foot here in the fourth quarter for the Mustangs. They give away a possession to Lewisburg, who now has the ball and has a 14-point lead, and we'll see what Jeff Mathis dialed up there in that stoppage between the quarters to kill as much time as possible. The Mustangs in man defense, but they're not coming out to contest on the perimeter. Here's a pass forced inside, and the Mustangs get a turnover. That's what you need, but they turn the ball away. Madison Bruce picked the pocket of Megan Beckner. Madison Bruce has left her mark all over this game, offensively and defensively. She tried to stretch pass there to Barclay, and it's deflected out of bounds by Beckner. Now Lewisburg will get it in wide open underneath the basket to score the field goal for Madison Bruce. Backbreaking there for the Mustangs as now they lead, or they trail by 16 points. There's Megan Beckner drawing the foul. No, they're going to call an illegal screen there on Kaylee White. That's her fourth foul. She becomes the second Mustang player with 4. Carol Wolf, the other player, and just like that, a turnover, and that's going to prompt the substitution as Candace Bennett checks in for Kaylee White. Things looking a little bleak here for the Mustangs and Appalachian Bible College, but we'll see what if they can pull a rabbit out of their hat and come with a miraculous comeback here. Here's Comer. She steps into an 18-footer. That's no good. Rebounded by Bennett, and here come the Mustangs in transition. Megan Beckner's open down the floor, but Dennis, before she can throw the pass, she turned the ball over. The Mustangs begin the third quarter on a huge scoring drought, and starting a little bit of a scoring drought here. A minute gone. They've yet to score in the fourth quarter. Here's Comer. She's taking as much time off the clock as she possibly can as Bennett now extends the pressure on her. Comer, inside out dribble, picks it up now, gets it to Rollinson. Rollinson now to Barclay. Barclay using her speed. She gets all the way to the rim and gets it to go. Anna Barclay, the 1/3 of this three-headed attack of guards that Lewisburg has used exceptionally well between Madison Bruce, Emily Comer, and Anna Barclay. As Megan Beckner carried the ball there, that's going to prompt, Brooklyn Bland will come out of the contest, replaced by Kaylee White. And Lewisburg gets the ball back again, now leading by 18. And now they're content to dribble up some time, and now the Mustangs extend. Here's Comer. Picks up her dribble, now gives it to Rollinson, back to Comer. She puts the ball on the floor and attacks. Shot up glass, no good, and an over-the-back foul is called on Abigail Mathis. That's the second foul on her. And the Mustangs in desperate need of a score here. 42-24 our score, 6 minutes remaining. Here's Bennett. She had a three now. Thought twice about it, might have walked there, and now she gets it in to Autumn Barker, who's come into the game, and now we have a 3-second violation called on the Mustangs, so another empty possession there for the Lady Mustangs. time is running out for them to try to mount a comeback. And it's not exactly the team you'd want to be facing if you're trying to mount a comeback. This Lewisburg Baptist team, their guard play is exceptional. Is right on cue there. Barclay splits 3 defenders. She got around everybody, and she gets it to go. 20 points now our lead for Lewisburg. The first time these teams met, this game was decided by just 2 points as Megan Beckner's shot's no good. It's loose in the lane. It's recovered by Candace Bennett. The second time, of course, Lewisburg leading or winning a little bit more decisively by 15 as Bennett's 3 is no good. A jump ball is called, and that possession will go to the Mustangs. Checking into the game for the Mustangs is Emily Wilson, so Mitchell Bland using this opportunity to get in as many players as possible. You got to let the whole roster play in the state tournament. So a lot of fun down here in Beckley. Here's Candace Bennett. She walked. Reminds me of my the first year I played, the 7th grade year. We playing Emmanuel in the first round, our rivals. Any of you recall? And I got to get into that game for a couple of minutes. I actually hit a shot. I was the proudest 7th grader. I played for about 3 or 4 minutes of that game. It was the highlight of the season, and we proceeded to win that game. Unfortunately lost in the second round to Mercer, and then proceeded to lose in the 3rd place game to Ballard. But the past is in the past, and right in front of us we have a girls varsity matchup with Lewisburg leading the Mustangs by 20. Lewisburg, the 3 seed, looking to advance to play Beth Haven, who won the game prior to this one. As you see Emily Comer there drive and score. The Mustangs really helpless in stopping these guards, as once they get going downhill on the perimeter, there's really not a lot they can do. Here's Wilson. She gets the ball into LeMasters, back to Megan Beckner. She takes 2 steps and misses the shot. She gets it back. But now she's stripped of the ball by Madison Bruce, and just like she's been doing all game, she picks the pocket of a guard and runs down the length of the floor. Unfortunately, her shot's no good, but the follow is put in by Anna Barclay. And that's going to prompt a whole host of substitutions by Mitchell Bland. He's just going to use the timeout to make the substitutions, as Brooklyn Bland will come into the game with Jenna Phillips along with Autumn Barker and Candace Bennett, and Megan Beckner will stay, the only player on the floor remaining for this Mustangs team. .418 remaining. Megan Beckner looking to score quick. She splits 2 defenders and draws the foul. That foul is going to go on Anna Barclay, her 3rd. Anna Barclay has been exceptional for this Lewisburg team. She's got 14 points in the game. That's going to prompt the substitution as Leah Comer comes in for Barclay, and she gets a nice round of applause by the Lewisburg fans. Leah Comer was the go-to player offensively early in this game. She had 5 points, but she's been scoreless since then. Off the inbounds pass, finally the Mustangs score. Candace Bennett hits her first field goal of the game, and those are the first 2 points in the 4th quarter for this Mustangs team. 48-26 is now where we sit. 4 minutes to be played here in Beckley. Lewisburg now. Comer driving down the lane, looking to pad the stats a little bit here. The rebound is pulled down by Barker. She's fouled by Comer. Tried to reach in and poke that ball 3, and she's got 3 fouls now. There's a couple of players in foul trouble for Lewisburg, but that really doesn't matter as much as it did coming into this quarter. Madison Bruce, Emily Comer, Kendra Honecker, and Anna Barkley all with 3 fouls, but again, Lewisburg can do about what they want to kill the remaining time off this clock. Here's Beckner. She attacks. Tries to find Phillips on the opposite side, and that ball is going to be deflected out of bounds. And we have another substitution as Emma Grant will check in for Lewisburg, and she'll come in for Emily Comer. So we'll probably be able to close the book on Emily Comer, who has 12 points to finish the game. One of the leading scorers for this team. Exceptional today in the first round. We have an inbounds pass thrown away, another Mustangs turnover. .325 remaining. Lewisburg trailing, or leading, I should say, by 22. Still with a handful of starters on the floor, one of them being Bruce, who sends away a triple. That's no good. Rebounded by Bennett, and Bennett immediately loses the handle on the ball. It goes all the way to the other end. Let's see who it was off on. And the officials don't know. And they reach the conclusion that the Mustangs will control this basketball. They get it in quickly to Autumn Barker. And back to Brooklyn Bland, who sends away a long two. That's no good. The rebound deflected, and it'll stay with the Mustangs. Coming back into the game is Brianna LeMasters. She's scoreless. She does have a foul. She'll replace Jenna Phillips, who was exceptional early for this Mustangs team. She finishes with 8 points. She had 3 fouls in the game as well. Here's Megan Beckner off the inbounds pass, takes it to the basket and draws the foul. That's going to go on Leah Comer, her second. Megan Beckner, a non-factor offensively for the Mustangs. She only has 2 points. She could add to that here with a couple of free throws. And the first one rolls out. Megan Beckner remains 0 from the free throw line. Exactly 3 minutes remaining. This game all but decided, unfortunately, for the Mustangs. Still seeking that first WVCEA tournament win. And here's a ball thrown all the way to midcourt. Is saved in bounds by Brooklyn Bland. A nice play by her. Megan Beckner goes all the way downhill and misses again. This ball rebounded by Leah Comer, and she goes down the floor. She loses the handle on the ball. She's harassed by a couple of Mustang players. Finally, the foul is called. Megan Beckner and Brooklyn Bland were draped on her. And the foul's going to go on Brooklyn Bland, just her first. As Emily Wilson will check back into the game for the Mustangs. She replaces Candace Bennett. 3 seniors on this Mustangs girls team. Unfortunately, today would be their last game. And Megan Beckner, Candace Bennett, and Savannah Fout. Now we see Grant with the ball. She drives in and puts up a floater. That's no good off the back of the rim and rebounded by the Mustangs. And now we have a foul in transition on Megan Beckner. Again, she's a senior. She'll close the book on a tremendous career, playing just 2 seasons for this team. And Candace Bennett, who was kind of in and out for this team due to injuries, has given Mitchell Bland some significant minutes, and I'm sure he's very proud of the way she's developed as a player. And of course, Savannah Fout, the Diesel, the Beast, coming off the bench and really providing a lot of effort and some veteran leadership for this the Lady Mustangs basketball team. Here's a shot up and in by Brianna LeMaster, so she gets on the scoreboard, and the Mustangs have the lead back down to 20. So you're saying there's a chance. The Mustangs need to score extremely quickly, and they definitely don't need to do that. I thought a foul was called, but yes, they're going to call a foul on Megan Beckner, just her second. And now Lewisburg looking to kill the remainder of the clock. Here's Comer. Now passes it to Anna Toothman, who's checked into the game for Lewisburg. And this is Toothman at the top of the key. She passes to number 4, Ava Anderson, another fresh face for Lewisburg, getting the chance to give their bench players some minutes here. She gets it down to Comer. Comer, a wild shot, no good, rebounded inside by Honecker. Honecker had those fouls early, and she didn't play much in the second and third quarter of this game, and I'm glad to see her coming in and getting some minutes as we have a ball deflected out of bounds that will stay with the Lions of Lewisburg. The Lady Lions, I should say. Struggling to get the ball in is Comer. It's close to 5 seconds, and before that 5-second call, we have a timeout called by Lewisburg head coach Jason Mathis. So this game all but decided, 143 remaining, 48-28 our scores. Again, we look at the bracket here for the girls play. The Victory and Seneca Trail game will begin directly after this one, and the winner of that game will play Mercer. Elk Valley won against Beth Haven. They'll advance to play, and Lewisburg, pending a miracle by the Mustangs, will most likely advance to play Elk Valley. So the 2 and the 3 seed still alive in the WVCEA tournament. That's a matchup I'm sure a lot of people would like to see. Elk Valley and Lewisburg, 2 tremendous teams. This Lewisburg team potentially really could go on a run here, especially with their guard play of Madison Bruce, Emily Comer, Anna Barclay, Leah Comer, not to mention Honecker. Every person on this team is a playmaker. They all handle the ball extremely well. They shoot the ball really well. They move the ball really well. They do a lot of things extremely well. They're extremely well coached. So credit where credit is due to Jason Mathis and As a result of that excellent coaching, they're going to get out of this first round most likely with the victory against the Mustangs. The Mustangs, however, they're returning a lot of their cast. Kaylee White and Brooklyn Bland will be back next season, along with the forwards Jenna Phillips and Carol Wolf. So some building blocks for Mitchell Bland, still seeking his first tournament win here at the WVCEA. That was Kendra Honecker who drove the baseline and had the ball deflected. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, Megan Beckner, Candace Bennett, and Savannah Fout playing their final game in the black and gold of Morgantown Christian Academy. Here's Comer, a nice look at the rim, but she missed the shot, rebounded by LeMaster. She gets it into the hands of Beckner, and Beckner looks to go coast to coast, all the way to the rim. She gets it to go. Megan Beckner now with 4 points. Again, not much of a factor offensively, unfortunately for her, who's been the go-to offensive player for this Mustang team for 2 years, as we have a foul called. Megan Beckner knocked the ball away initially. Leah Comer got it back, but then Megan Beckner fouled her. You better believe we'll see the Mustangs back here next season. Mitchell Bland screaming as he does from the sidelines, coaching the next version of this Mustangs team, who hopefully is just a game away from their first tournament win, as that shot's no good. Rebound and a jump ball, or no, a foul is called. And that's going to be on Kendra Honecker. Or no, they're going to whistle out on a Mustang player. I apologize. She said 5. No, yeah, it will be on Honecker. I stand corrected. And the Mustangs will walk the length of the floor to shoot the ball. We have Leslie Patches, who just checked into the game for Lewisburg as well. So the bench players getting some time, along with Lindsey Boone. So fresh faces in for Lewisburg, and the Mustangs still have 2 starters out there. As the free throw is put up and in by Autumn Barker. Barker with 3 points now in the game. You love to see that from potential returning backup big for this Mustangs team. Barker up to shoot the second. And that's no good off the front of the rim. The rebound is taken away. That was Megan Beckner. Emma Gant had her hand on it, and Megan Beckner took it away, and then Gant fouled her. So Megan Beckner will go back to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. 1:09 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And Beckner connects on the free throw. Give her 5 now. The Mustangs making this score look a little bit more cosmetic. They've got it down to 16. Make that, well, it stay at 16. The rebound is pulled down by Autumn Barker. Her shot no good. The rebound out of bounds. It'll stay with the Mustangs. An emphatic call of black being yelled out by the official, and the Mustangs will inbound the ball underneath their own basket. They get it into Megan Beckner. Turnaround shot no good, and another foul is called. That's going to go against Ava Anderson. This game had incredible pace in the first half. Teams running up and down the floor, deciding in transition. And since then, we've kind of grinded to a halt. A lot of fouls and free throws, and this game all but over. But the final few minutes of the clock are moving by incredibly slowly. But that's good for Megan Beckner, who's now up to 6 points. And the Mustangs have the lead cut down to 15. And the next free throw is good. Give Megan Beckner 7 now. And the Mustangs extend their pressure, and that's going to cause Jason Mathis to use another timeout. So the clock will stop again here in Beckley. 48-34 our score. And now you really come to the question of who the player of the game is. Obviously, it comes from the Lewisburg side. They've had a number of ladies play exceptionally well. Madison Bruce, who using her quickness to get up and down the floor. She finishes with, so I do some quick math here, 13 points, assuming they don't put her back into the game. So that's one player you could look at. The other player you could look at is Emily Comer. Again, impacting this game in a number of ways. She finishes with 12 points, but my personal favorite for player of the game would be Anna Barclay. She finishes the leading scorer for Lewisburg with 14, pending one of the bench players going on a run offensively and putting up more than 14, but Anna Barclay has been phenomenal, showing tremendous ability to handle the ball, to score, and she's applied excellent defense on Megan Beckner, and until Barclay came out of the game, Megan Beckner only had 2 points, but she's scoring a little bit more with Barclay off her, so that speaks to the importance of that pressure that Barclay applied. So look no further for your player of the game than Anna Barclay of Lewisburg. We have a Lewisburg player in Anderson attacking. She gives it to Patches, now back to Anderson. Her shot no good. It misses everything. It goes out of bounds and back to the Mustangs. 51 seconds as the clock starts again. And Megan Beckner trying to get down the floor quickly as she draws the foul. That's going to go on Honecker. And that should be her 5th. And Jeff Mathis is putting his starters back into the game. This team leads by 14. Honecker's fouled out. Then all 5 players will come back in along with Abigail Mathis. Honecker was the starter who fouled out, so Megan Beckner will shoot 2 free throws, and Jeff Mathis will put his starters back into the game. Interesting coaching decision by him there. I believe he's unhappy with the pressure that's still being applied by the Mustang team. As Beckner steps into the first free throw and connects. A lot of points here in garbage time for Megan Beckner. She had 2 points in the first half, now 6 in the second. As we have a substitution, Abigail Mathis will come out of the game. She's replaced by Anna Toothman. And the lead is down to 12. Megan Beckner hits the next. A lot of her points coming from the free throw line. Mitchell Bland, in response to Jason Mathis there, he took off his press, and Mathis advising his team to stay in the zone. So as a result of that, I believe Anna Barclay will dribble off the final seconds, and the officials are going to blow this game dead. The Mustangs were not going to go out and contend the shot, so not the way you want to see it end. There is our final score, 48 to 36. The Mustangs unfortunately losing in the first round of this tournament. These teams get a nice round of applause. This game was tied at 13 in the first quarter, and then Lewisburg jumped out with a couple of runs, outscoring the Mustangs to make it 26 to 19 at the half. They outscored them 12 to 5 to make it 38 to 24 in the third quarter, and then outscoring them 10 to 2. The Mustangs only scoring 2 points in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 36. A little bad math by me. They actually outscored Lewisburg in the fourth quarter. I apologize. It's been a long day. Well, with that being said, we already mentioned the player of the game. Anna Barclay finishes with 14 for the Mustangs. Megan Beckner finishes with 9. Jenna Phillips finishes with 8. Candace Bennett finishes with 3. Carol Wolf with 4. Brianna Lemasters with 2. Brooke LeBland with 3. Kaylee White with 2. Anna Barker with 3. That's going to close the book on a long season for this Mustangs girls team. Unfortunately for them, they come up short in the first round of the state tournament. I invite you to join us for our next broadcast. Just over an hour, we'll have varsity boys matchup for you here. But once again, your final score from Appalachian Bible College, Lewisburg defeating the Mustangs 48 to 36. For our executive producer, Christopher Knotts, our producer engineer, Jessica Toothman, I am Luke Wiggs. Again, reminding you to join us for the next game. But until then, this is goodbye from Appalachian Bible College.